So the Dead by Daylight devs just dropped a huge stream packed with upcoming gameplay changes, and not everyone is happy about it. Some players think these updates are going to save solo queue and make the game fairer overall, while others think Behaviour is about to make Dead by Daylight too forgiving for survivors and too punishing for killers. And today we're going to talk about the two biggest talking points from that stream. It's the anti-tunneling and anti-slugging systems. We will go through what's changing, what it means for both sides, and I will share my personal take at the end. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, guys. Turn on those noties. It really helps me keep making these videos and shows me that you're enjoying this sort of content. Let's quickly start by talking about some of the info and stats the devs provided us. They began by explaining that face camping, slugging and tunneling have been listed as primary reasons why players are uninstalling the game. Now, I know that obviously survivors are the majority of players in DBD, but it was a little strange to see them not mention a single pain point or reason why the killers might be quitting. They also revealed that in high MMR matches, killers tunneling is more prevalent, whereas in low MMR matches, face camping is more prevalent. They also gave us some data, and that showed that tunneling is actually down. As of October 2025, it's down to 40% from 44% in January of 2025. They explained that their goal is to ensure that all players retain agency and that their time is respected. They acknowledged that the PTB's anti-tunnel experiment previously felt way too intrusive. The new plan is to keep survivor protections, keep kill hook benefits, but remove the harsh killer penalties that applied when tunneling. So let's start talking about it, and we'll begin by speaking about the anti-slugging rework. This one is a big shake-up. So Behaviour's introducing a mechanic that allows survivors to pick themselves up automatically after 120 seconds in the dying state. So perks like Unbreakable now are not necessary. You simply just need to wait 2 minutes and you are back on your feet. But there is a twist. The longer you stay down, the faster you crawl. That means even if you can't get picked up right away, you're still going to gain some control instead of laying there like a wet flannel. However, there is a trade-off. You can't now recover while crawling, so you will have to make a choice. Either build up recovery progress or try to reposition to a safer spot. To keep it balanced, Behaviour added a scaling factor. For each additional survivor who is slugged, everybody's recovery progress speeds up by roughly 33%. So, if multiple survivors are down, recovery goes faster across the board. The idea is to make slugging still viable, but far less oppressive. Let's talk about the anti-camp and face camping mechanics. So, like we currently have, when a killer lingers too close to a hook survivor, the anti-camp bar will begin to fill up. By default now, it will fill 50% slower, but the longer the killer remains nearby, that rate ramps up, multiplying now by ×2 or ×4 speed, the longer they stay close. And once that bar completely fills, the hook survivors can free themselves. And the best part is, teammates now can see their hooked teammates' bar filling up. So you will not be in them situations now when survivors run over whilst your bar is filling up at a rapid speed. Now when a survivor gets unhooked, they will receive haste, endurance, and a new elusive status effect. They will also see, briefly, the killer's aura for about 10 seconds within a 32-meter range, which boosts their odds of surviving the next chase. Of course, there is balance built in. These effects will not apply during the end game except for haste and endurance. The goal here is simply to stop face camping without deleting killer control. You can still defend your hook strategically, but now you can't just sit there all match and expect to get rewarded for it. Let's next talk about the anti-tunnel and hook spread incentives. Instead of flat out punishing killers for tunneling, Behaviour is going with a different approach, rewarding killers who spread their hooks. If a killer successfully hooks a different survivor, meaning they don't tunnel the same one twice in a row, they will now get 15 seconds of bloodlust and a stacking blood point bonus. That is a smart incentive because it doesn't take away killer freedom, it just encourages a more balanced pressure across the map playstyle. They've also confirmed that some of the older anti-tunnel bonuses, like gen speed boosts or aura reveals, have been removed to make room for this new incentive system. It's a cleaner and more direct way to encourage variety in playstyle instead of outright restrictions. But of course, game to game, there's going to be so many different situations. It'll be interesting to see just how applicable this becomes. During the stream, the devs were clear about their reasoning for all of this. They acknowledge that tunneling and slugging aren't inherently bad, they can be valid strategic parts of the game, but the problem comes when those tactics get abused and make matches feel miserable for the other side. And these changes aren't about erasing those tactics, they are about reducing the extreme situations that push players to quit early or disconnect. They did mention that some of these new systems can be toggled on and off in custom games, which is going to be great for competitions and people who want to stick with traditional rule sets. And it's important to remember this, guys. None of this is final. It's all being tested, monitored, and tweaked based on our feedback during the PTB. So these systems could evolve further, they could get delayed, depending on how receptive we are to them when we test them, and it's reassuring to hear the devs say that. So let me give you my thoughts on this. I want to start by being fair to the devs because it is great to see them acknowledge their past mistakes and being so open and transparent about the game's ongoing issues. It's great to see them talk openly about things such as the tunneling, such as the camping and player frustration. I would love to see them talk about more things, specifically a lot of the bugs and killer-related bugs in the game, but this is at least a good start. I also think these changes are a fair attempt at implementing new systems that try to improve the experience for everybody. And even if I'm not completely sure they need to exist in the first place, I can understand their justification for it from a developer's perspective. It makes sense to reduce the pain points that cause players to leave the game early and quit the game entirely. So while I am cautious about how this will affect killer gameplay balance long term, I can appreciate that this is a genuine, thought out attempt to make the game healthier overall, and for once it does feel like Behaviour might just be listening. But that is just my take. I would love to hear yours. Do you think these new anti-tunnel and anti-slugging systems are good for the game, or is Behaviour going too far in trying to please survivors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with your DBD squad that needs to hear it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.